Hey, so I just came back from my holiday in Madeira, and there will be travel vlogs on the second channel whenever I have some flippin' time. But while I was gone, Duolingo announced a new plan utilizing the power of AI to help you learn a language more effectively. Let's front load this video with all the information you actually came here for. 1, it's called Duolingo Max. 2, it ain't cheap. And 3, I don't really think it's gonna be worth it. But let's talk about it. General disclaimer, even though my 7-year streak is coming up next month, I'm in no way paid by Duolingo to make these videos. I've been seeing accusations like that in my comment section recently, which I find bizarre because I can't think of a worse use of a company's marketing budget than paying a YouTuber that likes your app to also really emphasize the shortcomings of your app. Well, outside of just spending a lot of money to make a Chat-GPT reskin, maybe. But yeah, just wanted to put that out there. I get paid by making videos on lots of different topics, and hopefully people from different niches enjoy what I do, despite the fact that I'm not only making one topic all the time. I make Reddit videos or London videos or, hey, Duo videos. I digress. Oh boy, it got bright. That didn't have any effect. The year is 2023, so every company and every company's mother, ma and pa stores, of course, are just trying to throw AI into their app in any way possible. I don't really think that's the case here. I think Duolingo, being a data science first company, actually makes sense to try and integrate AI into their systems. In fact, they've always been a big fan of math. They even have a math app, which I'm going to be talking about probably on this channel in the next month or so. But the thing is, they've worked hand in hand with OpenAI to integrate Chat-GPT 4 into Duolingo Max so that they can help language learners learn languages more effectively. How so, though? What actually comes with a Duolingo Max subscription? Is it any different from Super Duolingo? Yes. Well, the Duolingo Max subscription has all of the perks of Super Duolingo, that being no ads, infinite hearts, yada yada. Yada yada is just a joke. There's pretty much just that. There are other things, but it's for those 2 reasons. So you get those perks, and you also get 2 AI features: Explain My Answer and Roleplay, where you get to steal Duo's family and then tell it to learn a language. Ha 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 ha. My safe word is FODUS, just so you know. Now, according to Duolingo, Explain My Answer offers learners the chance to learn more about their response in a lesson, whether their answer was correct or incorrect. Now, at first glance, this seems like an incredibly good idea. We all know how often it is that you'll be really frustrated that you don't know why you got an answer wrong, or you might have gotten an answer correct on Duolingo and be like, but I still don't get it. Now, I would give them big perks for introducing this as an option, except for the fact that it literally already was one, and it was free until they took it away. Yes, I'm talking about the Duolingo forums, okay? That was pretty much the same exact thing. You have a question, why did I get this wrong? You go to the forums, someone explains it to you. A human, how useful is that? Oh, Evan, I actually disagree with you there, because sometimes the answers in the forums will be wrong, and people will be really confidently giving you wrong information. That is a very good point. But let me just quickly introduce you to the concept of AI, where that's the same exact thing. AI thinks that I went to the University of Birmingham and that I write for The Guardian or The Independent, and none of those things are true. Okay, well, Evan, maybe it's because you're a C-list celebrity. Who needs to know who you are? Okay, point taken. But my main point being, they're confidently incorrect. And yes, Duolingo does claim that while working on Duolingo Max, they've managed to have it so that if a response is wrong, you can tell it is, and it should be learning through machine learning, and it should get better. And the quote is often seen online these days: AI is currently the worst it ever will be. Meaning, every single day that passes, it gets smarter and smarter and better, so hey, maybe it will be better than those humans that were helping us all for free in the comment sections. I'm still not going to let that go. I do feel kind of bad discounting this feature because it does seem like it has some actual utility. Like being able to ask in human words and having a response from an AI really quickly about what you did wrong is really, really helpful. It's just the cynic in me sees too strong of a correlation between Duolingo removing this much-loved free feature of the Duolingo forums and not talking about it and not bringing it back, and then just coincidentally introducing essentially the solution to that problem via you paying them lots of money for one of 2 features featuring AI. You know? Anyway, the other option that comes with your Duolingo Max plan is Roleplay. Now, this is actually super interesting because this is a completely new offering and hasn't been seen on the app before. Sure, there are other apps out there that allow you to talk to a native of the target language you're trying to learn for anywhere between £4 an hour if you're lucky to £20 an hour, but with this option, depending on how much you use it, you actually can get a really good value out of this. Now, Duolingo has stories already, depending on what language you're learning, which allow you to see conversations between people, learn words through context, and then at the end, more recently, you're able to write what your thoughts are on the story, actually using. Instead of just comprehending and understanding, you're making use of the language. Now, depending on how useful this roleplay feature is, this is a game changer. Instead of just comprehending and then chipping in a little bit, now you can actually have these conversations with the snarky little characters from Duolingo. Hopefully we don't have to talk to Junior too much, but, you know, Lily will be apathetic, as you do. I like Oscar and Eddie, I don't know. But as I know you're all probably thinking this really just depends on how well the AI actually speaks like a human. And I've seen some crazy stuff in the last 2 weeks alone about the leaps and bounds Chat-GPT 4 is currently gaining on speaking like a normal person. It's fascinating. So I have no doubt that every month that goes by, this is going to learn and get better and better, and eventually, I'd say, be something that might actually be worth looking into. But not only that, from what they're showing, it seems incredibly quick, and also if you say something that is correct but could use a little tip, they will add a bit like, hey, don't forget to use an article before saying this word. It comes off as more natural. That's really useful. This is really, really, really interesting. But as I know you're probably thinking this right now, okay, but at what cost? Okay, we're gonna need you to sit down a little bit, okay? So, the Super Duolingo subscription is £70 every year. For Americans, use Google. So for Duolingo Max, you're like, okay, £70 for Duolingo with the Super. How much more could it be? £90? £120? Wow! Whoa! That is a 71% increase over the Super Duolingo. This is something that I feel like would have been nice to just provide the Super Duolingo people that have been, you know, already paying for it to be like, hey, we got you more features, rather than have an extra tier. And even then, sure, I do not know the costs that go into using OpenAI and developing this system. I understand, it takes money to run a business, but for me, it doesn't quite make sense to set that price so far away. Like, set it as something like a stepladder. You put me at that like 20% mark where it's like, all right, I'm spending £70. Would they put it at 85 for the extra benefits? Just an extra 15? Oh, go on then. Give me the AI. Instead, they put it at a point where I'm like, I'm not paying nearly double to get 2 features, one of which you literally stole from us. So let me break this down for you. For £120 a year, you get unlimited hearts and no ads, or basically Duolingo circa 4 years ago before they added those features in and told you to pay to remove them. And you get Explain My Answer, or basically Duolingo circa a year ago when they had that feature and then essentially removed it and asked you to pay for it. And one new feature. The roleplay, which, I mean, it does seem pretty cool. But who is actually going to be able to use Duolingo Max? Well, iOS users learning Spanish are essentially the straight white males of Duolingo. We get everything we want, but don't fret. French iOS users are essentially the straight white women. They can come too. Everyone else, nah. That's kind of the way it always is. You learning any other language, or have your poor life choices led you to be using an Android phone? Oh, sorry, fresh out of luck. You ain't gonna get that till 2030, 2040, who knows? Though they do say it's coming soon. I do think the Android variant will probably come within the next year or two, whereas other languages are probably going to be a lot slower going. Think about how often, for instance, Finnish is updated. No kiitos, which means, well, thank you. Anteeksi. I went to Tampere a week or 2 ago, so I'm just learning Finnish. Jokes aside, I am an iOS user who is currently learning Spanish, and so I was very surprised to find I don't have the ability to use Duolingo Max. It's not coming up in my shop tab, even though it should be available. It is rolling out slowly, but if this is also the case for you, as long as you know your way around an iPhone, you should be fine. Just go into your iPhone settings, go to the Duolingo app, and bam, there's the plan right there. Force your way in. Did I do that? No. I'm too scared to drop the extra £50, to be honest. Because I feel like this just screams free trial. Like, they should be giving everyone a little taste of this first. Like, give me a 7-day trial to see, is this AI actually worth it? Am I gonna like this? And then maybe you'll get a lot of sales. They've not made any announcements about this, but it just makes sense for that to come out maybe in the next year, just to give everyone a taste. In that case, I will definitely try it out, and I will definitely review it on this channel, so stay tuned. But with all the information I have available, I'm going to give Duolingo Max a soft pass, which, if you've been watching my channel for a long time, that's also what I gave Duolingo Plus, currently named Super Duolingo, when it came out, because it just didn't have a strong value proposition. But things change, things develop, and AI is moving at a breakneck pace. So I guess check back up on the channel in a couple months and maybe I've changed my tune. Then again, my original opinions were when Duolingo was a bit of a fledgling company and they weren't listed on the New York Stock Exchange, so it's a bit of a different situation. But I am still using Duo to learn Spanish, and I've actually been learning Portuguese and Finnish recently, just because I visited both countries and I thought it'd be nice to learn the basics using Duo, and I found it pretty effective. If you'd be interested in a video where I talk about what it's like learning a brand new language to you, leave me a comment below. I might be working on that in the next month or two. And if you want any more of my top tips, I did make a 2023 video featuring all of those, including some hidden ones that I was just surprised so many people weren't aware of. So be sure to click that if you haven't seen that yet. Anyway, I'll see you guys on my channel next Sunday. Goodbye. So what comes with your Duolingo Max subscription? Well, you get all of the perks of the already in place Super Duolingo subscription, which of course being